Hello, I am back. In the last video, I was discussing about how to set up the virtual environment and execute the Python code using the virtual environment. But later, I also discussed about how to reroute the URL to the ngrok URL and call it from the API. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to test the backend functionality of this API. As you can see here, the browser, you can see a JSON response. This was shown in the last video. But now I'm going to test it using the API and find the time it takes to retrieve the response from the API and make changes to the code based on that. So I'm going to just copy the same link here, and this was made using TypeScript. As you can see, shows an electron logo, and the other app, which is Visual Studio Code, also uses the same framework. So now I'm going to send a request to this API. And you can see the same response that you found here was also shown here. But now here you can actually see that it shows the status code. It shows the time it takes for the API, which is 6.34 seconds, I guess. And the size of the file returned by the API, which is 0.33 KB. And as a fun fact, you can see as the API is running on my local machine, it has also shown a response. It also has also created a response.json file, which is created by the method here, json.dump. You can see it's also created as an application and the JSON file returned. And WorkZeog is the Python framework for web servers. And I'm using that WSGI framework for, it's called Web Server Gateway Framework. And that is what I'm using for Flask. So now let's get back to the API testing platform. I've already created a post request for the post. I'm just going to do the same for users. I can see, yes, I can see the response for that too. Now I'm going to do something different using the post request. Let me get back to the code to refer to that. I don't think so there's a post route, so it's insert and a collection and the arguments after that URL. I'm just going to delete the post. So you can see there are multiple posts, so I'm just going to read the posts again. Send the request. As you can see, I have created a post called as one sample post, and I'm going to delete this post. API/delete. I'm going to space it using semicolons. Let's say split here, args.split, semicolon. And I can give two arguments. The first argument that I will give will be name. That will be Mahat. It's actually a semicolon, I think. It says the URL was not found. I have to figure out why it didn't work. It's actually because I have to add a post route. Yes, it was a status code of 200, which is the code here. As you can see, it's a success response, status code of 200. Now if I go back and send another request to the same API to read the post, you can see the same post does not exist. Wait, let me add an argument. As you can see that once oh wait, you can actually see that. So I have to create API delete posts and let me to delete all. Send. Gives me a status code of 200. I'm just going to read all the posts. Boom. There's no post at all. And it presents as an empty JSON list. Also, if you go back to the website which we originally created, it's called localmedia.help2app.com. Yes, this was the website that we created. So now I can log in with my email, password. And you can see there are no posts left because I have deleted all of them from the API. The last thing I'm going to show is the post request. This was also a post request, but it was a delete request. Now I'm going to add a user, which is called insert, and I'm going to follow the schema that is defined in this file. Just local API.py. And there already exists a collection called as posts, and I'm going to add a post. It's a post schema, so I have to give it a title. I can just say something like mean stack, which is nothing but a stack for JavaScript and web development. Let me close the file folder as I don't need it. And to see the body of it as a framework for web development using a JS backend. I noticed that I'm separating it using semicolons, as that is a separator that I have defined in the schema. And author is going to be me because I have created this. Let me add a post. I'm just going to search mean stack images. I noticed that I'm looking at an image here. And this one looks good. So I'm just going to copy the image address, not the link address. Image address. And I'm going to add it to this request. Wait, let me just check this request whether it exists or not. Yes, it does. And images are. So I'll just keep my post link as main stack. So I'm going to add a post link to this. I'm just going to say main stack. It's like an identifier for this API. And send a post request. It shows a 404 status code. So I have to just. I think it's better to open up Notepad and type on the same link. So I'm just going to copy the URL from this page. Paste and API slash insert slash post slash main stack. A web framework is for developing web applications. And add the bottom, which is me. Add the zip code, which is 940. Let me just make it 95014. We'll add the post link, which is main stack. And then the images RC. So I'm just going to look into my history so that I can see the link. So yes, I can copy the image address again. I can paste it. I'm just going to copy all of this and paste it here. I'm just going to delete the previous request and replace it with a new one. It's quite long, actually. I add in the new one. Yes, finally, it was a status code of 200. Now I'm just going to delete this real fast. And add a get request again. And now you can see the post. Now I'm just going to navigate the command prompt again, copy the URL, add API slash read slash post slash all. Finally, you can see a post, a web